All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's run it back again. Welcome to the first episode of Smooth Conversations. I am your boy Smooth. And once again, that's Smooth with three O's. It's been something that I've been thinking about doing for over a year now. And I want to find the right opportunity to have a show like this. And tonight was a perfect night. This show here, we're going to just have a wonderful, general, open conversations and with our special guest tonight, it's definitely an honor that he reached out to me very last minute. So St. Louis, now let me stop playing. And reached out and was like, hey, let's do something. I'm like, let's get it. So it's an honor to be here. Go right now on your devices or wherever you're watching the show and hit that like, also that share button as well, so we get as many people tuned in to this wonderful show, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, on my co-host page, Countess Danielle's page, or on Smoooth Productions, on the X, or on YouTube as well. We everywhere. So there's no reason why you cannot tune in to this wonderful first episode of Smooth Conversations. And we're here at the TSC, the Saunders Experience, got the vibes going, and my co-host is ready again. So I'm gonna bring her back onto the screen. But as I said before, she is a wife. She is a mother. She is an actress. She is a beast when it comes to working out. And I am proud and honored to call her my little sis. Go ahead, come up to the front. Everyone, leave comments, show love. Miss Countess Edwards. How you doing again, sis? Rewind.
It happens.
It happens. It happens, but we here. Now everyone can hear. Leave a comment just to confirm that y'all can hear. Leave a comment so we can see it on the screen. The whole point of the show tonight is we want to interact with so many people. So leave comments, questions throughout the whole episode, and we're going to have fun with it. But now, back to you, sis. Thank you once again for trusting in me and being here tonight. For those who may not be aware, tell everyone about Not Your Average Therapy.
Well, Not Your Average Therapy is a show where we just give St. Louis's talent their flowers. We just want to show everybody and celebrate everybody's talent, their businesses, and let St. Louis know who's out here working and grinding, and bring support to their platform.
Now, people saw my lips moving, but they didn't hear me earlier. When I asked, has there been a moment or interview that you was like, okay, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm there.
Well, of course, our guest, Torry, right? I didn't say this at first, so if you could read lips, then you gonna get some new stuff on this.
She got that cash app, y'all.
Torry Coco Brown, that was a huge moment for me. But you know what? If I can be honest, the people who I grew up with and I interviewed and I said, and I'm still growing. That was my first answer originally, right? I'm still growing. I'm still learning. And as long as I'm in front of the camera, I'm happy and I'm at home. But to really interview the people that I've been growing with in the entertainment business since I was about 14 years old, and to see that we're all still grinding and living out our dreams the best way we can, that's how I knew that Not Your Average Therapy was the perfect platform for me.
Awesome. And as I said before, that they couldn't hear me earlier. My bad, y'all. But just proud of what you're doing. And I'm honored that you reached out to me so I can lend a helping hand, because it's all about supporting each other. You know, I think we have this big issue in St. Louis where people are trying to compete instead of trying to collaborate. And there's so much opportunity and money out there. And especially since COVID happened. When I say so many doors have opened up because of COVID, like so many opportunities that you can just do whatever, you know, and it's been a blessing on my sports talk show, the platform sports talk show, where at first we may not have had a lot of guests at first, but once COVID came, people were available and we just had all of a sudden just elevated the show. Like last week we had over 800 viewers tuned in watching us live, not like just overall, no, live tuned in. So it's a beautiful thing. So to collaborate with you, I know we're going to have a lot more projects to do in the future. So I'm excited for it. And I think we're excited for our special guest.
Oh, man, I'm so excited. I told him on our last interview that you literally introduced me to comedy. My very first comedy show was Torry. And I am, if you know me, you ask me what I want to do. I want to go see some stand-up, child. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
So For those who don't know, this man here, he is a famed and acclaimed actor, producer, comedian, and I personally feel that he doesn't get enough props for what he's done in the comedy game. We're going to talk about that along with Fat Tuesdays and so much more. Everyone coming back. Yes, coming back to the TSC, Mr. Guy, Torry. Where you at, Guy? There he is.
Hey, what's up?
Good. Good.
My God, good to see you again, man.
Be again, man. Coach headphones on.
Sean McVay.
Yeah, right. Man, I'm gonna call some plays. About to call some plays right now. I got the hat on, everything. There we go. Let's go hat to the back. Time to go to work. Okay, here we go. What up?
Hey, you ready? Hey,
What up?
once again, man, thank you for reaching out to me.
All good, man.
You know, we know that you know so many people, you know, A-listers, the whole nine. But for you to take time to think about, hey, let me get that smooth. I'm working yesterday. I'm like, all of a sudden I see, yo.
Say, yo, I'm coming to the loo.
There it is.
Coming to the loo. Make it do what it do when you come to the loo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So for everyone watching, tell us the reason why you're back here in the loo.
Well, one, mom is always here. So mom is you need no motivation to come home and see your mama, see your people, your family. But also, I'm working at the same time. If I can get work at the same time, let's do it. So Funny Bone in Westport this weekend, just me, me and Miss Pretty Ricky, who's opening for me. Been on tour with me for a few years. She just got off the Cat Williams tour. And now she's working out her new stuff. So yeah, we're gonna be at the Funny Bone this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Slinging. I want to do a different style show I haven't done in stand up anywhere before. So I'm gonna try something out, see if it works. That's what comedy clubs are. People don't realize comedy clubs are the gym. That's where we go and work stuff out. It may work, it may not work, but people who are there are getting a live experience and seeing stuff for the first time before anybody else in the world. So that's why comedy clubs are so much fun to see, because that you see the inner workings of the methods to the madness of what we do as comedians.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. You brought up Cat Williams. Not talking about this part yet, but I know that he recently had a Netflix special.
Yes.
And this may be an unpopular opinion, because I know there are some diehard Cat Williams fans.
Oh yeah. That cat got a tribe like Beyonce and Trump.
I have to personally say I saw it and I just was not moved by the comedy special to me.
I haven't seen it yet, so but I've heard stories, but they all can't be good. I mean, you're gonna have a bad game. Jordan had bad games, Kobe had bad games, some of the Tom Brady has had bad games. So sometimes you're gonna have a bad game. Yeah.
Do we want to get into the tea though? You brought up Cat Williams, so I'm trying to figure out.
Let's get it.
God had to clear the air on some things.
Oh.
Some things that Cat had to say. So
yeah.
He had a mouthful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
About your
It wasn't a mouthful about the doc, it had a mouthful about everybody else, but he had some comments that weren't true about the documentary. First of all, what Cat Williams did, I mean, and I say this every time, I've been saying this for years. Cat's a genius. Okay, his IQ is 160, like literally a genius, Mensa, right? And so what he did on Club Shay Shay, right, was surprising to me in a way, because Cat has a big heart, right? Cat's also real, right? And so I was wondering, why would Cat, do what he did? And then it hit me, in my opinion. I'm not saying this is fact or why he did it, but in my opinion, because people ask me my opinion on why he did what he did, because he had a tour going out, and he had a special coming out. And if you look at everybody that he kind of went after, they're trending. He talked about Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey has a national syndicated radio show. What do you think he talked about the next day on Steve Harvey's show? What do you think Steve Harvey's rivals on other morning shows talked about? Cat Williams. He talked about Ricky Smiley. Ricky Smiley has a nationally syndicated radio show. What do you think they talked about on Ricky Smiley's show the next morning? And what his rivals talked about? He talked about who else he went after? Cedric. Who hates Cedric? Right. Like, who hates? So that's somebody like, he hates Cedric. What do you got to say about Cedric? But Cedric was trending because the Neighborhood had just got picked up again, his sitcom. His food line with Anthony Anderson, the barbecue line was trending. So came after Cedric. Talked about Kanye West, who's always trending. Talked about Kevin Hart, who's always trending. Talked about Tiffany Haddish. At the time, she was trending over the DWI she got. DUI she got. She was trending off of that. Talked about Dave Chappelle in a positive way, but Dave's special just dropped. He was trending. He talked about Earthquake. Earthquake has a radio show on Kevin Hart's network. He trends. So he talked about the Kardashians. They're trending. So everybody he talked about really are trending high. So Cat didn't have to really buy any radio ads for his tour because he self-funded the tour. With the help, I'm sure, probably Live Nation, but it's Cat's money. So it's like, if I want to buy radio and ticket sales went up 75%. So he's a genius. What he did was a little evil genius, but it worked. His tours were selling out. People put asses in the seat, and he did what he did. Not mad at all. When you understand, the only thing about it was the fallout, because relationships he had with people, I don't know what's going to happen with those. And also, who's going to trust Cat again with information? If you spilling tea on everybody, then they're going to be maybe a little bit apprehensive to, to say anything. Now, what he said about Fat Tuesdays it's funny because it took me a few times to really realize it was kind of a backhand compliment. Because he said it did a beautifully done documentary called Fat Tuesdays where Tiffany and Steve Harvey and Cedric and Kevin Hart came through, and he said those were all lies, which was not true. That's why I had to post the receipts, right? So, Cedric, I posted Cedric at Fat Tuesdays in 1996, me bringing him out on stage, right? I posted a picture. We never said Steve Harvey performed at Fat Tuesdays. We said he was there. I posted a picture of him at my 30th birthday party. We never said Tiffany Haddish came up through Fat Tuesdays. Matter of fact, we say that she couldn't get in. She says that. And we state that she came up through the Laugh Factory. So he said that we said she came up through the Comedy Store, but she really came up through the Laugh Factory. So he was right. But we never said she came through she came up through Fat Tuesdays. And then he said Kevin Hart never performed at Fat Tuesdays. I posted pictures of Kevin Hart at Fat Tuesdays. And then the same time I interviewed Cat years ago about the doc, I interviewed Kevin. About when before I sold the doc, and he mentioned how Fat Tuesdays helped his career and how he learned Hollywood by coming to Fat Tuesday. So Cat just misspoke. I'm gonna do this misspoke. It's still my cat, no pun intended. But I had to clarify because if I'm going to live in this documentary space, right? I want people to trust me with their stories. I want networks to buy my productions because I'm telling a good story and I'm keeping it a buck. But if I'm telling lies in it, who's going to trust you with the story? Who's going to buy your pack of lies? So that's why I had to go on and clarify, like, hold on, you misspoke. And I had the receipts.
So, but before you sat down and you put all of that together, your initial response, and we're going to get into the therapy.
Well, my initial response was great. It took me 3 to 4 times to realize, oh, wait a minute, that's kind of a... He said
you went mad a little bit, guy. Just like
no, I wasn't. I wasn't mad. I was disappointed. But I wasn't mad. I'm like, because let me tell you what it did. The views went up on the documentary 60%. So by him mentioning it, because a lot of people hadn't seen it. So they're like, well, what's this Fat Tuesday thing he's talking about? I don't know about it. Some executives from other networks and studios saw it and came calling about some production deals. So, it and this is after it had been out a year and a half or so. And the views went up 60%. So that's amazing. So, I mean, that's the power of what he did. Yeah. Even though he talked negatively about some people, I think their numbers went up. I did a show in LA, my 55th birthday party, and I had Cedric, I had DL, I had Bubba Dub and Coco Brown on the show, and Eunice Elliott. And when it was days after the Cat's post, right? And I was like, oh, hope said don't cancel. But says the homie. And said came, and the way he handled it was genius. Was genius. He handled it, he hit it, because it's on everybody's mind. He wasn't disrespectful. And I'm not gonna say what he said because he may be using this in his stand-up, so I don't wanna step on that. But with the way he handled it, beautiful. He hit it, moved off of it, and killed. and
because he even
killed.
said a few things on the shop, LeBron James,
Yeah.
thing. So I saw that. But going back to Cac, I know you said you were
Disappointed.
disappointed.
Yeah.
So like you said, he brought up.
Well, let me go back. After I watched the whole thing, I was disappointed.
Okay.
Like, because it's like, man, the people he was talking about that's our crew, that's our tribe of comedians.
Right.
And I felt I wanted to go watch something on Lifetime. I wanted to go watch something lighter. You know what I mean? Something lighter and something like that, because I was like, oh, that was like 3 hours of like,
It was a whole lot.
Yeah, and we are comedians, man. We're supposed to be building up and giving you love and bow, 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 not pow, pow, pow. But it was what it was.
That's what I want to bring up, because what he was doing was like setting the tone for 2024,
right?
Exposing the truth,
right?
The truth, or exposing other people,
right?
And what he was doing was exposing other comedians, like you said,
right?
So, as you being a comedian and actor and producer, it has to be like a fine line when you're trying to expose other people, whether it's true or not. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about Kevin Hart, or talked about saying, or talked about how his shape and everything. Now I know you said, granted, it did help other people network grow or brand grow, but at the same token, there has to be some type of fine line to you exposing and talking bad on your peers.
I can't tell another man or woman how to do their business. I can't tell another person how to write their joke or create or write their script. You are who you are. You're gonna do what you do. We're all wired differently. It's not me to tell you how to approach that situation. You know what I mean? If you come and ask for my opinion, then I can give you my opinion. What you do with it is on you. And how Cat chose to do what he did was okay. He's a grown ass man. And if that's how he's wired a way to deal with it that way, that man is wired a way to do it that way. But there are consequences to whatever you do. So, and if you look at over Cat's life and his career, he's been in some tough situations, legally, and got out of it. He's truly a cat with more than 9 lives. So, I'm not going to tell that man how to. It's not me. I wouldn't do it. You mean stories I know about motherfuckers? I'm sorry, I don't want to post cuss. You mean stories I know what people in Hollywood, in the business, stuff they've done, stuff I've seen, stuff I've witnessed, things they did to me. But that's not how I'm wired. And it's okay. If he's wired that way, he's wired that way. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. It's just him.
And I just think that, I know you support a lot of up and coming comics, comedians. And it was a bad example to set. He's somebody that a lot of young comedians look up to, that they're inspired by him. And then just to go out and just drag everybody under, under the bus like that.
Hey, hurt people. So, hurt people. So, I mean, it's like I said, I mean, it's those young comedians who, they get over it. Man up. This entertainment game is no joke. The comedy game is no joke. And if you ain't got thick skin and you can't get over shit, then you need to get out the business.
You're not gonna last. Yeah.
You ain't gonna last in this business. I've heard some of the most, could be gut wrenching stuff about me. You're not a lead man. You're not tall enough. You're not good looking enough, or you're not black enough, or you're too black, or you're not ghetto enough. You're too ghetto. If you don't have thick skin to hear all the criticism from all the auditions you went on, or just when you do a stand-up piece or acting performance and how they come for you, either don't read it or get thick skin, because it's going to be. Everybody's not. One thing you got to learn in the entertainment industry, when you're an artist, when you're putting your work on display, everybody ain't gonna like you.
Yep.
Everybody ain't gonna like your shit, and you better be able to live with that. Don't think everybody's gonna like your joke or like your song or like your art piece or like your dance or like your style of clothes. They're just not gonna like you, and you got to get over it and say, so what? It's a lyric in Lil Weezy, Lil Wayne, and it's pertaining to women, but I took it as pertaining to just people. It said, I fuck who I want and fuck who I don't. And then my thing is, I fuck who fuck with me. And I'm not going to say fuck who don't fuck with me, not in a negative way, but like, if you don't, you don't. You're not a hater. You're not a hater because you don't like my stand-up. Now, if you're going to actively try to keep me from putting food on my table and paying my bills, and you just starting shit, that's a hater. But if you just don't like my brand of comedy, that don't make you a hater. Just like I'm not your cup of tea, and that's okay. I have friends who are comedians, good friends. I'm not. They're not my cup of tea as comedians. So it's just that we got to quit. Stop being so quick to call somebody a hater because they don't like what you do. Now, if they're actively trying to ruin you and out there just promoting you ain't shit, then that's a hater.
Right.
That adversity also brings views.
Yeah.
And conversation.
Yeah.
And like you said, ticket sales.
Ticket sales. Hey, dude sold out. He's he got the word about a special. So he is who he is.
So let's talk about. I said earlier the relationship you have with other comedians.
Right.
Tell us that feeling of how do you feel being able to have great relationships with people like Sid and other great comedians who've been A-listers and doing their thing for years now. Tell us about how does that make you feel that you would be able to have a cool collection of friends.
Blows my mind. It blows my mind, but it all goes back to, and I'm a comedian. People look at stuff to be ha. But I get deep. A lot of times I get deep for a reason because I feel like it's my assignment. I have this platform to serve. And so, I'm gonna get deep on this. It's God, period. It's being able to, have Dave Chappelle in my documentary, Steve Harvey in my documentary, Cedric in my documentary, Regina King in my documentary, JB Smoooth in my documentary, my brother Joe's a given. I mean, his family, he's gonna show up, but to have these people in my documentary, man, is like amazing. Bob Saget, George Wallace, to have these people in my doc is like, wow, that goes to show that, the respect that I've been, showing for others in this game when you need them. Lunell's another one who always shows up when I call her. So the mutual respect is there. Right. And I'm actually in the process of building my website, and I was having somebody do it, but they was taking too long. I got tired of waiting. But as I go through my hard drives and all my photos over the years and my moment, we forget, sometimes you forget, no matter what you do, whether you're in Hollywood or whatever you do, those good times, you forget those times and what God brought you through. Like we forget, we treat God like he ain't got receipts. And he be showing you like, wait a minute, remember that show? Remember that movie? Remember? I'm like, oh man, because sometimes, you whatever you do as an artist, you can get, we're never happy. We're never where we think we should be. Always higher. And it can come off as not appreciative of what God has already blessed you with. And sometimes he got to show you where you were and where you are now, where you just like, quit. I got this. Quit bitching about being blessed. Period.
It's so funny since we preaching. I always tell my therapy babe, shout out to y'all, that journal, right? Journal, write down those thoughts. But the power in the journaling is going back and reading what you've been through, what you've overcome, and what you still need to accomplish. That, and then you read it back in your voice. Oh my God, it's so much power in that.
So I did that. I did that years ago. This is before I was when I was married. Before I got married, I bought my first house, and I had I turned the master room, and it's actually on BET, the show they did, How You Living. But I turned the master bedroom's closet into a prayer closet, right? Because I had another bedroom I turned into a whole closet, right? So, but I called that was my room where I would go in and straight meditate and pray. So I started journaling. I had an old Mac computer. First, I was writing it down, journaling, right? Then I had an old Mac computer I wasn't using. I said, I'm just, I'm a hoarder, so I didn't get rid of it. So I just use this as just my journaling. It was an old Apple too, the dark gray one with the square screen and the ball in the middle. It was older than you. That's when it was a computer when Apple was gay. Remember when it was the remember when the rainbow? The rainbow was it was a gay Apple back then. It was but it was a gay. So I was So what happens is I go back and read those. I'm like, oh man, I forgot when I was feeling this way or feeling that way and feeling that way. If you don't journal it and you don't go back and read it, you don't see the growth. You think God, ain't messing with you. He ain't answering your prayers. but he is. You just got to go, but you forgot. You didn't got Hollywood on God, and you forgot that he took you through all of that bullshit you was going through.
So, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say, and sometimes the picture is painted a little bit different from how you imagined it.
Right.
But it's exactly what you asked for.
Right. Right. Yeah, you forget the times that God. Yeah, you forget, the blessings, and I read a quote 2 months ago that now I live with, and I've got to share it. I put it in my stand up, but I got to share it for those who, don't come to my shows. It said, thank God for the prayers he didn't answer.
Right.
Okay.
And I saw that on somebody posted on Instagram, and thank God for the prayers he didn't answer.
Yeah.
And I say that because there's so many Hollywood parties that I was mad I wasn't on the guest list. There's so many roles that I didn't get that I thought I should have gotten that I prayed for and didn't get. And now I see what happened at some of them parties. I ain't say no names. And I see where some of those roles ended up. And it was like, you know what? Thank God for the prayers he didn't answer. Because it's like you could have been caught up in some bullshit if you'd have got that role or been to that party or hung out with this person.
Right.
So,
And like personally for me, I take that in regards to all types of things in my life.
Yeah.
Even back in the high school, I was like, man, I want to holler at an old girl.
Right.
And then to find out old girl was doing something.
She's sending dudes to the clinic. She's sending dudes to the clinic, that big brown clinic on Grand, with them giving you that shot and them big them pills they used to give you. Not that I know firsthand, but you be wanting the bad. Oh man, if I can just, if I can just, and then say, she really fertile, or she's sending you to the clinic, or she's setting you up, getting you robbed.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you better listen to BBD.
And
never trust a big butt and a smile.
Man, poison.
Better go beyond that smile.
Going back as well, how you mad at a situation where you wanted this job,
right?
You want this
role, chick, or you want this guy if you're a woman or if you're a guy.
Right. Then you find out because first of all you prayed about it,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But then you find out that door just wasn't the door.
He was protecting you,
right?
He was protecting you,
right?
Yeah.
So I want to also talk about this up with Countess about competition and collaboration.
Okay.
In my timeline on social media, and I hate to bring this up, but it happened a lot here in St. Louis. But a lot of comedians, or a lot of spoken word artists, they always beefing. It's always something going on where there's so many outlets, there's so many ways to make things happen and collaborate on things. Why do you feel like we're getting to a point where so many people trying to compete and but not collaborate or be better without having to dog someone else out or expose someone, or they think they're trying to expose someone else out?
Well, one is crab in the barrel syndrome, which black people suffer from. One trying to get out, trying to pull him back down. You look at the movie Batman when the little baby was trying to climb up the thing, but then also just mental health. Most artists we're never really happy, and we think we should be doing everything, but we should be doing. Why you and not me? That mentality. Or someone that got something, it's because they did this to get there. And at the end of the day, you got to look at it as if you're not doing it, it wasn't for you, period. And there's a lot of bitter people, not just in Hollywood, but everywhere. And it's like, you didn't put in that work. You didn't put in that damn work. So why are you crying about where so-and-so said, where so-and is and you're not, and deep down in your heart you didn't put in that work, or you try to cut corners. So the person really knows. They may be too narcissistic to say anything, or too self-absorbed to to take blame. But so it turns into fighting. It turns into hating on someone, because they got something that you didn't get, and they're trying to ruin your reputation or soil your name. That's hating. Yeah, what?
No, I was saying,
the therapy side of it.
The therapy side of it. So I think that I really think that you nailed it.
Yeah.
I really think that you
It's
nailed it. Like you said earlier, her people are
self-loathing.
people, and it makes them feel better.
Yeah.
It kind of makes them feel better
Yeah.
to create something in their mind to
put you
have a
down to
flaw
build
for
put
this
you down to
person.
build themselves up.
Yeah, they now this is their flaw. I see their flaw, so this is why they don't deserve it and I deserve it, and it's just reasons that they need to give themselves.
Well, they take God out of it,
Mm.
and and that's the thing, and which is ego, which is edge God out, ego, edge God out. So when you take God out of it, then it's me. You know, it comes about you and not about the service we're supposed to be doing. We're servants. So let that man, let that woman, or let that pronoun, because you gotta be careful these days. Let that person let, let that person
Y'all know what you're talking about.
let that person get what they want to, what they supposed to do, because you too worried about over here. That's why your shit ain't working, because you worried about this instead of working about what you need to be doing. If you spent more time working on what you got to work on and quit counting their money and counting their blessings, you didn't forget about yours, and now yours and got away.
So, 2-part question. Fat Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Amazing documentary. If
Thank
didn't see it, go on Amazon.
Still streaming high. Thank you, Cat. No.
Right. And when I saw it, I was truly amazed, because I didn't really realize how much of a platform, pun intended, that you provided for other comedians. So since the documentary came out, what has been the feedback that you've gotten?
You know what? The best feedback has been, especially when I go to New York and the young comics, they'll come up, yo, OG, I didn't know, man. You inspired me, man. I'm going to go start my own comedy night so I can, work on my stuff, but also give other people the opportunity. That's the best compliment. I mean, we were up for an Emmy. We were in the consideration. We didn't get it. I was a little disappointed, let down by that. But, thank God for the president didn't answer. I don't know what was on the other side of that Emmy. We got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. We got best documentary in the New York Times, which are all great. But to inspire young up and coming comics, to go do a night to showcase other black comedians, just other funny comedians, period, is the best prize you can possibly get, because it shows you what you did meant something. It showed you what God allowed you to do. I understood the assignment and I completed it. Seeds planted by God. I watered it. I put it in the right soil. I gave it the right sunlight, and it turned into one of the best damn documentaries on comedy ever. Period. And that's what the thing. If he plants a seed, an idea, which is good, it's gonna work. You got to do your part. He did his part. Right. Do your part. You put it in good soil. That means you put the right people around it. You give the right sunlight. Pay attention to it. Put all your heart into it. Right? You water it frequently. Do your research, and then build your tribe and pray. You got to pray on it. Make sure that the right people, because sometimes you think you got the right tribe and you don't. I've been a bad GM sometimes. General manager. Sometimes I thought I had a good team put together, but man, I was a Clippers back in the day. I was.
You was what's up, boy?
I was
Elgin Bailey.
Elgin Bailey, man. Rest in peace, great Laker, great Hall of Famer, but he stunk as a GM. And I, sometimes you want to put your friends down, you want to put your friends on, but that ain't always the best thing. You know what I mean? Drafting your son to the same team you're on may not be the best. No, I'm just
Stay tuned for that part, y'all. Stay tuned for that.
See what I did there? See what I did there? See what I did there? But anyway,
the segue. No. But also, you recently had your Fat Tuesdays tour around the country. How did that go?
It's still going. It's not stopping. We're still going. We did some test cities. We did here in St. Louis, which was amazing. And thank you all for helping, promote it and get the people out. Not crazy about the venue we was in, but that's a whole nother story. And we did another one in Detroit that went well. We did it. My 55th birthday was a Fat Tuesday style show in LA Live, DTLA. And so, yeah, we're continuing to grow it, continuing to tweak it and take it out. The website is up. It's going to be more put to the website. But if you go to GT Fat Tuesdays, PHAT, Fat Tuesdays with an S.com, you'll see it. And I'm adding to it. I'm adding more videos and more stills and more content to those websites. So yeah, Fat Tuesdays has been, it's the gift, it's the brand that keeps on giving, and there's some other things in the works under that umbrella that's going to be fire.
And see, that's exactly what I was about to ask you. What's next? You're reinventing your way on the stage this weekend at the Funny Bone.
Right.
But what's next? And I want to see you on film again.
I know my agent is trying to drag me back to acting, and
so why are you? He's trying to drag you. It's not.
She's trying to drag me back to acting. It's just the business, man, the business.
Talk to me because I'm acting, so give it to me.
No, I love doing the independents. You know what I mean? But when you deal with
Hollywood.
the Hollywood and the sometimes it takes the fun out of it sometimes. And I do miss it, just the business side of it. I mean, I used to they build you up about, oh my God, they love you in all your movies and the drama, the comedy. You're the only one who can play this role. They love what you did in American History X. They love what you did in Life and the Animal and da 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 da. And then you get there and the people in the room act like they never even seen you before. And then they hire somebody who's never acted before.
Really?
Like who never acted before. Like, so I just canceled a show, or I just pushed my flight back, or I missed press to promote a show to stay in town or fly back in town early to audition.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all for nothing. I mean, it's just a risk that we take, but don't sell me this and do that and then spit in my face by hiring someone who's never acted before. Of course, you got to give somebody some experience, but then you watch the production like, okay, well, let me see what they did. If they hired this person, they were better than me in an audition, then let me see. And 9 times out of 10, they weren't better. The only person that I was really satisfied with, who did a great job in a role that I really wanted and was literally hurt over that I didn't get, was a movie called Secretariat. Mm-hmm. And it was the gentleman who played, he passed on, rest in peace. He was in True Blood too, the black guy that played the gay guy in True Blood. But the part was in Secretariat as the horse's groomer. He was living in my building too, in downtown LA too. I forget his name, but he beat me out for the role in Secretariat. And at the time, True Blood was the hottest show on TV. It had one season, it's hottest show on TV. But I know they gave him to him because of that. But he's also a phenomenal actor. And when I watched the movie, I was like, okay, yeah.
The other people probably just a little cheaper.
Yeah. Hey.
Right. That's it right there.
Nah, because when they did the part, it stunk. Except Chris Tucker. Like Chris Tucker beat me out for Fifth Element.
Yeah. It sounds like your feelings a little hurt when it comes to acting. Then is that?
Oh, absolutely. Look, the one thing I am is honest. Absolutely.
I feel that.
Yeah, it's hurtful when you put her, because it as an actor, and you're an actress, you take time to study those lines. You take time to build that character. You take time to research the character, because a lot of times they don't give you the background on the character. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to play that character well, then you got to make up your own backstory for that character. It's never going to be said in the script, but you got to play that character from a place where this dude or where this woman came from. Right. So you put all that work in, and for them to play with your time like that, don't fuck with my time.
How stressful are auditions?
Very.
Yeah, especially
very stressful
role too, because a lot of times if it's a dramatic role and you're taking on that energy of that character and you're really embodying, I done started fights in my house because I'm carrying the energy of that character,
right?
And I just have to sometimes.
You got to go there. You have to go there. That's why most of us are crazy, or the good ones are crazy, and I say I'm tripolar. I had 3 personalities, but you have to go there. And I love the dramatic roles more than I love the comedic roles. Because as comedians, we're normally dark on the inside anyway. So if we tap into that dark side and play it well and play it honestly and not try to be funny, then we make some hell of a dramatic actors.
So with you being an actress as well, the support from your husband, how has that support been from him, knowing that some certain role that you may have in a movie or, commercial, whatever that you're doing? How has his support been? Has it been hard for him?
That's so important.
Well, this is not your average therapy, and like I don't lie. It was very tough in the beginning. Very tough because I'm often typecast because of how I look. So I'm either the girlfriend or the mistress or the wife, and he has to see me on camera with another man. And I stopped for a minute because the joy of it, I want to be excited. I want to go to you, and I want you to be happy for me when I take.
And you want to play that character honest too. If you're in love with another person, is that your husband, your TV or movie husband or boyfriend? You got to play it like it's true, and that's got to be tough.
Yeah, it caused a lot of issues.
See,
until I told myself, I told him I had a role with Miss Brenda Hampton, and they called me, and I hadn't been on the scene for a while, and they hit me up. I said a prayer to God. I said, you know what, God, I know what it is that I'm supposed to do. That was the birth of Not Your Average Therapy. I said, I need to get back in front of the camera.
Right.
And that's how I kind of started. And then as soon as I put that prayer out there, my phone called. She was doing the Blood Brothers. It's doing great on Tubi right now. And
hey, don't sleep on Tubi.
Yeah, I had she wanted me to audition for Savannah.
Yeah, he's about to be, yes.
And I learned the lines. I was about to, I took a while to tell him. And then once I told him, it was a straight face. And I just was like, you know what? And I was 5. I had just had a baby. So I already have my insecurities as a woman, and then he's the only person. My mom passed. She was my biggest supporter. She'd be down her right now. You got this, her out of place. I need you to. And not having that anymore. It's hard.
Yeah, but with me, you got typecasted, so did I. I was getting all the roles. Hollywood let you know you're not that attractive.
But now we're on point now.
You good?
It's better now.
Yeah, you got all the roles because of the way you look. I got all the roles because of the way I look. I was either a crackhead, homeless, or in jail. That lets you know, Negro, you ain't that good looking. I'm always the ugly dude. And I talk about this on stage. In the audition, because you go and you look at people that are auditioning, and they all look like you. We all send them there with screw faces like, ugh. So But I love playing those roles.
So the reason why I ask, because there's people who's watching right now who may be in your position, who engaged or married, whatever, significant other. When you were doing those roles, did you have your husband meet the actor that you had to?
That's a good question.
Come on set so that you can see.
Yeah,
he wouldn't do it.
And that's just a straight up man, though. You don't see my woman with another damn dude, acting or not. It's yeah.
But now it's better. It really took some tough conversations, and it's like, you know what, this is me. You gotta love me how I am.
This is what you should have done. Let me tell you what you should have done. Every time you had a role like that, you should have purposely started a fight. So y'all can be mad at each other, So y'all can be mad at each other, so you can go play that role and beast it, and then give him all the sweet loving and pamper him when the role is over. But during that role, you create that tension on purpose and use that on set. Use that in that when I did American History X, I was stressed out at the time. I had a friend moved from St. Louis to LA, and I'm letting him stay on my couch, while he got on his feet, right? And we came from two different worlds. Like I'm a germaphobe, I'm a neat freak. Everything got to be in a certain place. I'm very organized. He was complete opposite. Well, I'm a Capricorn, but my dad was a Virgo, and that's why I'm that way, because of my dad. So he was a complete opposite. You would think Hurricane Katrina came through his crib when he used to live on his own. So we clashed because of that. Because and I used that energy for my scenes in American History X. Plus Ed Norton, was going through some stuff at the time with production, and the set was real tense. But it worked because I played a black man on the set with a bunch of skinheads, and there were real skinheads on the set because the director wanted real skinheads for those scenes. So there's a lot of tension on the set anyway. You got to use what you can use.
Yeah. It's funny. I was teasing you a little bit when I said your feelings was hurt, but I
ain't gonna lie.
That's how he got on board. He saw because you
probably weren't happy.
You could audition 10 times and maybe get the role once. Auditioning process sucks. For 10 auditions, it's one booking. And he saw how crushed I was and not getting certain. I do a lot of commercial work. My agent pretty much does me for commercials. Target, when I was in Mexico, hit me up for a commercial. And I'm like, Mexico, I can't do it. So him seeing me hurt,
right,
changed his
got on
perspective
board.
on everything.
Right, that's good. But that support is very important. It really is, because you're fighting something you love, and then someone you love, between the two, and usually the thing that you love was there before the person you love, and you get torn, and you just pray, and you kind of don't want to marry somebody in the same business because you think you do it and they would understand, but you want to break from that Hollywood shit. You want to break from acting to talk to your significant other about other shit, real world shit, not this Hollywood shit. You know what I mean? So it's difficult. It's very difficult.
It is. I always say that I would think that it would be easier to have someone
No, it ain't.
in the business.
I never have and never will sleep with another comedian.
When we talked about Hollywood stuff, right? I was telling you about the book that I had read, and you said we should talk about this, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and it really brought to my attention.
She had 7 husbands.
She has 7 husbands.
Damn, her cooch went platinum.
But listen, it's so funny because a lot of them were not romantic situations. It was stage marriages for roles, for Oscars.
Okay, yeah.
For what do you call beards? You know, her best friend of 15. I don't want to tell you the book. It's a good book. But we were just talking about how Hollywood plants stories to sell.
Oh yeah. Things. Well, yeah. I remember when I had a manager, and when I was dating my ex-wife at the time. It was a long distance relationship, and my manager managed another actress, right, who had a boyfriend who I knew, and she was actually engaged to, one of my mentors, another friend of mine, and so he was like, you and this person should start going out on red carpets together to build like a power couple, so people can see you all together and just get. And I'm like, no, I said I have a, He said, but no, it's not that you're really going to date, but just be seen together and get the buzz. I'm like, no, because I said I have a girlfriend back in St. Louis, at the time, and that her girlfriends are going to be in her ear. Like, he's on the red carpet, so what's going on with guy and so, and then I know her boyfriend, so like that's going to be weird. Like, yeah, we hold hands and close and out and calling paparazzi to come meet me at this restaurant so we can take pictures so we can get a buzz so I can work. Now, I would rather my work speak for itself than that. And then I know her ex-fiance. How's that look? It looks real Hollywood. It's just like, I do a bit now. I just wrote it actually today, but about someone told me it was actually true though. Someone said, someone just like you don't act Hollywood enough. Like, what's that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah, you don't act celebrity enough.
Everyone,
what does that mean?
Hi.
Like, I'm me. But I know what they mean because there's so many people in this industry I've seen come in and they humble as hell and they look in the eye when they talk to you. And then as they grow and they get big, they avoid eye contact. They didn't sold their soul or they whole. They didn't sold their soul or they whole. And the eyes are the windows to the soul. So they don't want you to see through them and what they have done. And they look at you guessing. Do they know? Do they know that I sold my whole or my soul or both?
I can't take that part serious.
I'm just serious. That's just real shit. They say it's
soul and they whole.
And not all of them, but
the majority.
Yeah.
So, Miss Dub, our favorite fan from the platform Sports Talk Show, shouts out to us. Says,
means I'm not fake enough.
Right.
I tried being a celebrity. That shit is expensive. You mean miles you gotta feed?
Man.
You mean extra hotel rooms, extra plane tickets, extra meals, extra problems. It's just, it's a lot of work. I ain't got time for all that. I'm working on my craft.
So I have a question. I asked you this during the after show. You had people asking questions in the whole nine, and I wanted to bring it to the forefront now. Comedians like Country Wayne,
right?
Desi Banks,
right?
Drewski,
yeah. I've never seen Drewski do stand up.
Right.
But yeah,
is he considered like an actual comedian?
No, not if he's not on stage. I mean, well, let me clarify, because in my documentary, Donnell Rollins talks about this, because he was saying this one young lady was saying she's a comedian, but she hasn't gone on stage, but she does sketches, these skits, and Donnell said he went and looked up the word comedian, and it falls under that basically. So it's crazy how yeah, but it's now we have to clarify and say stand-up comedian.
Gotcha.
Right? A stand-up comedian. So go ahead and finish what you were saying.
So I asked you previously just about your thoughts of how social media, the comedians are using social media more and more to do skits. Cause Country Wayne has a whole empire now.
Right.
I mean, he's making millions.
Kev on stage, all those guys to hear more. All those.
Right.
I mean, it's here's the thing. We talk about it in the Fat Tuesdays documentary. Streaming on Amazon Prime.
Check it out.
Check it out. There's a lot of comedians in my class of comedians, meaning my age group. Can't stand these little motherfuckers. I mean, we when we did the Fat Tuesday documentary, there was some comedians going in on the youngins, and we didn't we to save them, and we didn't want that type of doc. We just didn't air those parts.
Wow.
We cut those out. But that's not the doc we wanted to do, because I want to bridge the gap.
Right. Love.
I see the da. So I want to be the bridge between the two, because we need each other. We need each other to survive. We're all comedians. Every generation has a different portal of getting into the industry. I had Def Comedy Jam. I had BET's Comic View. The generation before me, my brother had Def Jam, but he also had the Tonight Show and those shows, Star Search before then and all. So every generation has a new portal. We can't shit on the younger generation's portal, because technology is there. We can't shit on them for taking advantage of it. I think the skits that they do is just a different talent. I wish I had those skills to be that funny in that amount of time. I don't have those skills. I have skills to do stand-up and to write stand-up, and that's what works for me. And so I applaud them for doing that. Now, what I wish they would do is get on stage if you're going to do stand-up and get the reps in. Don't do a gig, headline it, and you got 15 minutes, right? And you ain't getting on stage doing open mics, building to at least 30 to 40 minutes, right? Because what's happening is you're going on stage, and you're flatlining at 15 minutes when you got another 30, or another 30 or 40 to do, and somebody's coming to a comedy show for the first time in their life, and that's the experience with live comedy. Now you fucking it up for me, because we may have lost a customer for life, a live customer for life. So I just want them. Why not have the best of both worlds? Why not kill it on stage and kill it on social media too? Get your ass on stage and put the work in. Yeah, it's gonna be some bumps and bruises, but we all went through that. I went through that.
The grind. Yeah.
So, and if you ain't doing that, then you don't really love it. You're doing it because it's something to do. And you making money at it, which I ain't mad, but don't call yourself a stand-up if you ain't gonna stand up.
Speaking of which, give us your state of comedy right now and how it is, and do you think it's in a good spot?
Well, in all honesty, when Cat did his Club Shay Shay, the state of black comedy was horrible. I thought so because of that, because it's like we're all fighting when they calling us to heal. We're healers, we're philosophers, we're doctors, we're therapists with our stand-up. And that moment made it different. And a lot of people who like that type of drama was like, yeah, that's right, you need to do that. That's not what comedy is. I understand why Cat did it. Yeah. I explained earlier. But that's it. I'm glad more comedians didn't start doing that. Cat did it. He set the tone. He did it. It's done. He did what he did. Cool. Let Cat do Cat. Now, do we have to go on there and just spill everybody's bad? Ain't none of us motherfucking perfect. All of us got some motherfucking skeletons somewhere.
So if Shannon Sharp reached out to you, would you accept the opportunity?
If I had something interesting to say, like I wouldn't come over here with just some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? If I got something to say, I got something to say. If it makes sense, yes. If it makes sense, yes. But I'm not gonna go in there and try to compete with Cat and be on there telling anybody business. Cat did it. He did it, and he did it well. And I don't think anybody can do it better than how he did it. Right. So stop. Tell your story. Don't try to be Cat. Cat is Cat, and Cat IQ is way higher than most of you motherfuckers. So let Cat do Cat, and you do you. Don't try to be somebody else you're not, because you can only pretend for so long.
Has T.I. been accepted in the comedy world?
T.I. was accepted in my comedy for me right off the bat. A lot of comedians was hating because he was, I guess, taking gigs from them. It's entertainment. You know, it's like, it's more funny because I'd be very hypocritical if I was mad at T.I. doing stand-up. Tell you why. When I started acting, and I got American History X, and I got the movie Life, I got those roles. There were some actors who were like, that motherfucker ain't no actor. Who was hating on me, but I'm like, it's all entertainment. Right. This is a natural progression of under an umbrella of entertainment. If I want to go fucking juggle, I can go fucking juggle. I can do what I want to do. It's under the umbrella of entertainment. Right. So anybody who hated on T.I. for doing stand-up, for what? It's entertainment. He didn't pay his dues. Yes, he did. In hip-hop. Right. Music is harder than fucking the dude that come through that game. It's still entertainment. The nights he spent on stage in open mics and hip-hop shows, hip-hop rooms, grinding, writing. It's a different type of grind, but it's still a grind. They don't make it any less, grindier than what we do. So now he's a natural writer because that's writing stand-up, don't you? Okay. Then you gotta tell stories, right? Hip-hop, don't they tell stories? Don't we tell stories? Then you get on stage and perform in front of people. Don't we do that? And it's about rhythm and timing and relevancy and talking about. Is that not stand-up and hip-hop are like this? Hip-hop came out of stand-up. Hip-hop came out of stand-up. Before there was hip-hop, there was people at the discotheques when a DJ would have break beats. Somebody would get on the microphone and talk about, hey, move your car, you're going to get towed, or coat check about to close, or last call for alcohol, blah, blah, blah. And then they started, being funny with it, and then Rudy Ray Moore, Dolomite. Dolomite was doing that, rapping jokes before the first official hip-hop. Right. So why are comedians mad that someone wants to try stand-up? Do it. Why not?
Because once again, there go that competition and not collaboration.
Right. It's like straight dudes bullying gay dudes. What are you mad at them for? They taking dicks away from you? I mean, why are you bullying? There's more titty balls for us.
Listen, I love your level of understanding and grace when it comes to other people and just putting all the pieces together and realizing what it truly is. If we did more of that, there would be less hating, less competition.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's moments when I have those moments of, and then I thank God every day He made me self-aware. There's some narcissism here, but then right after that is like, man, come on, be honest with your motherfucking self. Because you gotta be honest with yourself, and most people aren't honest with themselves.
So we have a comment from LaVon Toombs. She says, "Hello, Countess and everyone. How you doing, LaVon?" She's asking, is T.I. comedian? Yes, he's been doing it for a couple of years now.
It's been around maybe 2 years, about 2 and some change. And the thing about T.I., he's hitting the spots. I'm seeing him going in them hole in the walls, getting on stage,
grinding.
Yeah. He's not just like packed shows. I'm gonna try some jokes. He's in these rooms showing up unannounced. He bumped me. He's T.I. Motherfucker. Okay, get your weight up.
What you know about that? But I mean, going back to the collaboration, competing, it's like, for instance, my dude Steve. He's a DJ as well, and we're not competing against each other. The competition is, I see his skill.
Yeah.
So like, I want to be better.
Iron sharpen iron. Yeah. Let's get better together. You can't play every fucking party in every club at the same time.
Right. It's lonely. Yeah. It's lonely to do.
It's lonely at the top. I've been here so long, and I need I'm joking. Lonely up here because somebody come join me. I'm the best ever.
And you're like big nuts here, you know.
Find your tribe of people, get together and share what y'all love.
Yeah.
It's so much better there.
So
and it's also, you know what? It's also stressful carrying all that unnecessary stuff. I mean, I'm a guy that hold grudges, and I've been praying and working on that. And it's so much extra work having somebody live rent free in your fucking head. And
So-
they have to live in their life kicking it and used to.
Right, just trying to
For
find
what?
ways to be negative.
Yeah.
You know, you're stressing yourself
I'm
out.
guilty of that,
Trying
and
to find
I'm
out,
working
okay,
on it. I ain't
man,
there yet. It's still
I keep
motherfucker
on
like,
seeing Countess.
but
Hey,
yeah.
but like, I keep on seeing Countess doing this. I gotta find some kind of dirt on her so I can. You gotta do all that. Just
right.
be like,
Or
hey.
just start attacking her. Oh, yeah, you know, just start. You start tearing them down.
Yeah. Martin Lawrence, he's back on tour.
Man, it's so good to see Martin back.
Oh, Bad Boys was crazy.
Woo! Let me
Yeah.
tell you, probably one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Probably, but you know, the first one is hard to top the first.
Right.
But I went to the premiere, man, and I walked up and smacked the shit out of Will Smith. No, I didn't. Charlie Mack would have whooped my ass, but Charlie Mack, 90 years old anyway. That's his security guy. But anyway, no. It was good to see, you know, that timing back. And 3, I enjoyed 3, but I felt Will and Martin's timing was not as good in 3 as it was in 1 and 2. But in 4, shit, that motherfucker is instant classic.
I was in the theater acting like a whole black person.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
now I know that he mentioned on several stations that he's doing fine, but just you knowing him, do you feel that he is doing okay health wise?
I don't know. I mean, he seems a little his mechanics seemed a little slower than it was because we're used to Martin being pop 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 pop, and it just seems he slowed down a little bit. But you know, that Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Father Time is undefeated. So
probably some truth in his character and just the way that, you know, how they was making fun of him with eating all the Twinkies and Skittles and stuff.
Right.
That could be the cause.
Right. The blood sugar. Because we used to ball all the time. We used to Martin's mom's house. It used to be Martin's first house. From the first house he bought was in Toluca Lake, which is North Hollywood, basically. And in the summers, he would call me up and my brother up, and we go shoot ball every Tuesday and Thursday. And, you know, and you know, boom, boom, boom. And so he still balls a bit, but you get, you know, Father Time is up. Black don't crack, but we squeak.
If we keep moving our bodies though and put the right things in.
Oh, I forgot about. You're right. No, I forgot about me. You're a health expert, so I forgot. You're right. I can't. You know. You know.
Got a comment again from Levon. Torry, you are a legend. So good to see you and hear you.
Oh, I appreciate that. It's so weird hearing that next to my name. You know, because you know my legends are Martin and my brother and Cedric and you know and those guys. So to be in that, you know, in that mention and I have to receive it by I'm a legend because God, you know, gave me the gift and allowed me to have done the things that I've done. He's planted those seeds. He's given me the assignment, and I'm glad I understood the assignments to even be thought of in that vein. Because at the end of the day, we're all servants.
I want to talk about something about that whole Will Smith thing, though. I really want your opinion because we were just talking about how
I'd have whipped his ass. I mean, that's my opinion. And Will is one of my favorite actors. I ain't gonna lie, but go ahead.
Do you really? So I was just having this conversation. I think it was a stunt.
No, it wasn't.
You don't think so?
I'm gonna tell you why it wasn't a stunt because I know both of them. I don't know Will or been around Will as much as I've been around Chris.
Okay.
But hold on a second.
COVID.
But no. Lack of alcohol. No. No, you can see it. You can see it in his eyes. What do you mean? No, I'm talking about in Chris Rock's eyes. You can see in his eyes he was shook a little bit. And then Tony, his brother Tony Rock, was pissed off. I was as a matter of fact, I was at a screening for Back on the Strip, the movie that my man Chris Spencer wrote and directed with Tiffany Haddish.
That's funny. It's a funny movie.
I thought it was funny as hell. I saw it 3 times. I saw it at the screening. I saw it in the theater. I saw it. Wesley Snipes, yeah. JB Smoooth. It was funny. Buddy Lewis. I mean, they did a great job. So I saw and Charlie Mack was there. Charlie Mack is the first of them on Will's guy. And Charlie was coming over to say something to Tony, and Tony was like, no, fuck away from me. No, away from me. That right there lets you know that shit wasn't staged.
That's why I asked you, because you got the inside.
Yeah, that shit wasn't staged. And when I was watching it live, like I wasn't there, but I was at home watching it. And when I saw it, I thought it was a skit. And then Chris's reaction was, Chris is a good actor.
That's what I'm saying.
He ain't that good of an actor because I mean he's good, but he was his reaction, his real reaction was like, oh shit. You saw it in his eyes.
It was crazy.
The eyes are everything. You saw it in his eyes. Like there was and ever since that, and I saw him, they were on tour. He and Chappelle was on tour, and they was in Oakland. I flew down from LA to Oakland to go to the show. And afterwards, I got a chance to talk to him, and you could still see the shookness, because Chris is not a confrontational guy. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it was real.
Stephen A. Smith said a few weeks ago that Will Smith needs to apologize to the Black community for what he did. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
You say no.
Say yeah, because here's why.
Okay.
You know how we are as Black people. Don't show out from a company, right?
Yeah.
Number 2, who produced that Oscars?
Wait.
Oh, got her fired up.
Who produced those Oscars?
Will Packer, right?
Yeah. I met Will Packer on the set of a movie called Ride, directed by St. Louis and Millicent Shelton, produced by the Hudlin brothers, Reggie Hudlin and Warrington Hudlin, and shot in Jacksonville, Florida. In 97, I want to say maybe. Will Packer was a cable puller. For those who don't know what a cable puller is you have your lighting crew, electricity crew, and there's a guy, it's almost like a production assistant. You behind the scenes, and the way the white guys were treating him wasn't respectful, but cable puller. And for him to go from that to work his way through the industry, and doing it the right way, and be executive producer of the Oscars, your moment, and you have that happened. Will knew who was producing those Oscars, and to do it at that moment, it's like, to me, was disrespectful not only to Will Packer, but to us as Black people in Black Hollywood. It's just that there wasn't the place and time to do it.
But there's this thing right now that's called clickbait in 2024. We're gonna click.
That's
on
been a
something
while.
and watch something negative and give it all of our attention before we do.
That's
something.
Been around,
right? So, what other Oscars is being talked about the way that this one is being talked about because of what happened?
What other Club Shay Shay being talked about other than the one Cat did? Does that make it right?
It don't.
But does that make it right?
But that's why I'm saying it's
so. Where's the apology? What you said? You don't think he should apologize? You think it wasn't staged? To me,
I think so many. It was Will still won. I mean, look at what Bad Boys is doing. Now he a real fucking bad boy.
Well, he also, if you haven't seen the movie, you know he gets slapped several times in the movie. Some people say that was kind of, they was trying to, make up for it there. And Will is talented. And Will is talented as hell, man. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves as an actor. I mean, yeah, he won an Oscar, but I think what he does in his roles are amazing. I did not like that part, and maybe it's because Chris Rock was one of my mentors, one of the guys, and I studied a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I know, so it was just different.
He's just so smart to me.
Had it been like Jeff Ross, Jeff, my guy.
For so many years, I just think that was strategic. He's too smart to not have the plan like Cat had a plan.
Yeah, somebody said probably it took away from the winner. It did take away from the winners. People won an Oscar that night. That's Hollywood's, thing, and the ultimate prize is God. But he won an Oscar that night, and it got overshadowed by their moment. By their moment. Huh?
So they still counted on me.
Yeah, but it ain't the same.
I feel that.
You're an actress, so you should know if you sacrificed everything you did for a role, and man, hard for Hollywood, for women in Hollywood, harder for even Black women in Hollywood. So then to get a role and to go deep into that role, alienate your family, alienate your kids, to go deep into a role and sacrifice so much, probably lost weight, probably was stressed out. You played that role and you get nominated for an Oscar for all the hard work you put in, for the stress it causes in your family, and then you win that Oscar and it's overshadowed by a fucking slap.
By a moment.
That's disrespectful to the craft, disrespectful to we as a people, disrespect. Now people gonna disagree with me. That's okay. That's and I'm not mad at you for disagreeing. We all have opinions, but
I love this point though that
you know, it's
And-
like
look at it.
And to add on, that's why I get mad when I see these young.
that was a good Allison Williams. That was a good
right.
That was
Good-
you made me look bad, Alice.
But that's what makes me mad about these young athletes and rappers or whatever who you work your way up, you finally get there, and then you do something stupid by sexual assault or get arrested for a drug, whatever that now you're losing money that you just worked your butt off of.
You got to realize alcohol and success brings out who you really are. Alcohol and success brings out who you really are. They say fake it till you make it. That's not like faking like you got riches and shit. That means like you're a demon or you're a monster, and you hiding it until you get enough money to get comfortable or you get drunk. All my friends drink. If you don't drink, I don't trust you, because when you drunk,
The real
you comes out. I'm gonna see who you really are. So you're hiding something if you don't drink. No, I'm just
So
but
I want to ask both of you. I'll start with you first, Countess, with you being a actress, model. For those watching right now, what is some advice you want to give to those aspiring to do what you're doing right now?
You got to separate. I always say separate the star from the human. If you don't do that, you're going to try to be something that you're not. And at times that you need to be human, you need to be vulnerable, you need to ask for help. And I really needed to learn that. I couldn't always be the woman on camera. I needed to be able to, because when I'm on camera, when I'm getting ready for production, I'm looking at my flaws. I'm looking at all the things that I need to conceal and cover up and fix. And you can't go through life like that, especially as a woman. It hurts. It is painful. So just learn how to. Maybe that's why Beyonce created Sasha Fierce and Beyonce. Like, you have to be able to separate the two. If you don't separate the two, you're gonna struggle mentally, big time.
That's interesting. With me, it's different because of being a comedian. I am who I am on stage. It's. I say some really crass shit. I would love to hide behind. That's not me. So it's different when it comes to stand up, unless you're a comedian who doing a bunch of impressions unless you're a comic. Okay, difference between a comic and a comedian. I say this all the time for those who's hearing it for the first time. A comic says funny things. A comedian make things funny. A comic will go on stage and make you laugh, piss on yourself. But you never know who they are. They're not vulnerable. They're not transparent. They're doing a bunch of jokes, but you have no idea who the fuck they are. Comedian make things funny. So they'll take their life story, they'll take their hardships, they'll take their flaws and turn them into jokes. So you know who they are, right? So when you're a comedian, I am who I am. And as an actor, I'm playing that role. But once they say cut, I'm done with that role. In the real world, I'm me. I can't be anybody I'm not. You can only pretend for so long. I think that's why a lot of marriages fail. I think a lot of marriages fail because in the beginning, you pretend for years, and it's like the jig is up. I'm tired of being somebody I'm not. And then the friction starts because you've been pretending all this fucking time.
And then it's like, what was your true intention on getting married anyway?
It's funny you say that because with Coca, when I interviewed her, she really surprised me because she said, I had to learn how to act ghetto. I'm not ghetto. And I was like,
I'm joking. She's not. That's my girl. That's my girl.
You're so different on this interview. And then I had interviewed God first, and he was so him. And so it was such a surprise. Damon was even kind of like that. Damon kind of was different. How he was way more polished and way more disconnected than he is on stage to me. And maybe when I met him in person, it's probably because of the division of being, you're in your space, I'm in my space. But it was very, even you didn't really even recognize it.
Well, we did it on, I did. I knew he looked familiar, but I'm like, okay, did it? I know I'd seen you before.
But the division is what I'm saying of us being, on a virtual set versus in person. But yeah, when she told me that she had to learn how to be ghetto and she wasn't what we saw, she was different from the comedian. That's very interesting.
Yeah, that's her art. So I wouldn't tell her how to do her art, but me, it's like I'm me.
Deep.
That's
so my last comedy question. You brought him up just briefly. He was definitely on the Fat Tuesday documentary. Your brother, Torry. How has that relationship been?
It's any relationship where you have an older brother, younger brother, older sibling, sister. It's it's good sometimes. And sometimes we just fight. You got two alpha males who our parents raised us to be independent. All of us, all 6 of us, right? And to be leaders. And my name is leader. Guy means to lead. It means to guide, to be a leader. So I'm natural as a leader. Joe, I think he leads by a different method. He leads more aggressively and more alpha male-ish, more. He's going to impose his leadership on you, whereas I'm gonna try and lead by example. I'm a you get more bees with honey.
So I know that you told us during your last stop here in St. Louis about a potential breaking news, possible event with him. Is that still something in the works?
Yeah, something in the works. But that's some other breaking news I wanted to say. I don't know that I completely forgot about. I'm at the Funny Bone this weekend. Of just those of you who are listening, I'm at the Funny Bone all weekend this weekend. But the breaking news is a lifelong dream come true. Is I'm throwing out the first pitch at the Cardinal game on Saturday.
Nice.
And that may not mean that to anybody else, but to me, I'm excited. I grew up a Cardinal fan, and I still support the Cardinals. Went to London last year to see them play the Cubs, and so throwing out the first pitch is I got a practice session tomorrow, but it's like whoa. And baseball was not my sport. I was great at football, great at track, great at wrestling. Basketball was questionable, but
he was
baseball.
Great at track, so he had to run against B-Town.
What's B-Town?
Berkeley.
What's that? Berkeley?
So I'm okay. Thank you.
What's Berkeley?
Don't make me run our interview back.
What's Berkeley? Oh, they're talking about Rick Stovall and
you said
all those horses. Let me tell you something. Berkeley. Berkeley. Let me tell you about Berkeley. All right. Berkeley, I pulled the records on those guys. They were 30. They were 30. The way they was beating us, they were 30. They was all 30 years old. That's why they had Berkeley men's track on the back of their jackets. Every other high school had Berkeley had like boys, like Southwest boys track or VAT boys track. They're the only school that had Berkeley men's track. They were 30 years old. Grown ass men. Run against us little 17-year-olds. They had Olympians on that team.
We just had a very good coach. Shout out to Coach
Staggs, mean ass, never would walk around with a frown on his fucking face.
Staggs right now here.
Call Staggs right there. He probably still got that porn mustache that he had back then. Porn stash. Yeah, Staggs. Walk around a little mean. Just never smile, never do, just mean the whole goddamn time.
You because you were.
He was like a Belichick, he was like a Belichick.
He is the best coach ever.
Shouts out to the wifey. She says, Dub, congratulations. For the pitch.
Oh, yes. Yeah, let me see. I've been practicing. I've been practicing. There you go. I've been getting some practice.
Here's the wind up in the pitch.
I'll be dope. I'm a lefty, too. And I'm a lefty. Yes. Only one of my family that's a lefty.
Wow.
Me too.
6 kids, a mom and a dad. I'm the only one left-handed.
So, speaking of sports, your Lakers made some news the last couple of days. Let's first start off with the new head coach, JJ Reddick. Because when I brought this up in the text, you was like, "Oh, I got some thoughts."
We got it.
Well, First of all, I'm a Laker fan for 45 years. Okay. Before I moved to LA. Right. Greatest organization ever. Right. So I wanted JJ Reddick as a coach on the staff, not as the head coach. You know, I my favorite pick would have been Mark Jackson. And every time a Laker job comes up, I hit Mark, and he always says the same thing. They got my number. They got my number. And I would have loved to have, you know, Mark Jackson as the head coach, JJ Reddick as an assistant, one of the assistants, Rajon Rondo as one of the assistants, you know, even Sam Cassell, you know, who should be a head coach as an assistant. But, you know, once I would have welcomed the coach from UConn,
Dan Hurley.
Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley. I would have welcomed that. But man, I don't think they lowballed him, to be honest. I thought being a sixth highest paid coach in the NBA was fitting for somebody who never coached on that level before. So yeah, so when he got the head coaching job, I was like, okay, all right. I mean, it seems like Mark Jackson never gonna get a call. I don't even think they interviewed Sam Cassell. You know, Ty Lue had walked out of. They lowballed him. Well, no, with Ty Lue, they lowballed him too. Right. And I think if LeBron really wanted Ty Lue to be the coach, he would have been the coach because LeBron has that much power over the Lakers. And my man B. Shaw, you know, Brian Shaw, he interviewed for the Lakers job at one point, and they were kind of, you know, disrespectful to. From what I understand, they were trying to disrespect Phil Jackson. He didn't like that. So it is what it is, man. And so JJ Reddick is the head coach. So I like Darvin Ham. I just thought they didn't.
She got this.
No. I like Darvin Ham. I don't think they respected him like they should. They should have gave him, you know, a little bit more time.
And then he also dealt with so much adversity. So many people were hurt.
Right. He dealt with a lot of adversity. I was trying to get him over to the lounge and smoke cigars, but he landed somewhere. I think he's a good coach. Yeah. I just think that he didn't have the respect from the players that he should have gotten. But JJ Reddick, I mean, what am I going to do? You know, it just seems like, you know, I'm sure LeBron had a lot of influence on it. I'm sure. And I keep wondering, you know, what is it? I mean, if we keep LeBron, we can probably win a championship. If we get rid of LeBron, I think we can still win a championship because we can get more pieces. But I think LeBron is making my whole thing is I think LeBron is making the Lakers so much money, like the bottom line. It's almost like championship or not, they're getting paid.
And here's the whole thing about that:
ticket sales,
is that after
TV
Kobe's
contracts.
Last year, rest in peace. After his last year, they were an afterthought until LeBron came along.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you put him on the team, they're instantly going to be considered contenders.
Yeah, because when Spectrum Sports, I think they paid Lakers $3 billion for exclusive rights. So if you live in LA and you don't have Spectrum, and the game is not on ESPN, one of the game of the weeks, right, you're not seeing the Lakers. Even if you have the NBA package, I bought the NBA package. Like, okay, I can see them. Nope, blacked out in LA. So I have to go on the road. When I'm on the road, I have to use NBA package to watch the Lakers on my iPad. But when I'm in LA, blacked out. So that's a LeBron effect. You know, jersey sales, even though Steph Curry, I think, has the highest jersey sales, and then I think it's Jason Tatum. With Jason Tatum's in there somewhere in the top 2 or 3.
Shouts out them for winning the championship.
I know that hurt, and I was bittersweet for me.
Yeah, because
I hate fucking Boston. I hate Boston. But to see 2 things, I hate Boston, and we had the edge on championships,
right?
Because they had 17, and we had 17.5,
right?
Because the in-season tournament is 0.5. That was 0.5, but now we 0.5 back from them. But to see Jason Tatum, right, and a guy who is doing it the right way from the crib and balls out. No Diddy. to win the championship is dope. It's great. So I'm not mad at them winning, even though Dallas, two of my boys are coaches, and one of my boys' son plays. I'm not Mark Cuban is the reason why Chris Paul wasn't a Laker, so I'm not happy about that. But anyway, yeah, I wouldn't have minded if Dallas won too, but to see the hometown boy win, especially after they gave him shit in 2019 when the Blues were in the Stanley Cup against Boston and he had a Blues jersey on and they were booing him. Yeah. Like, yo, the dude from St. Louis. Of course he's gonna rep his city. Right. And you booing him, he's your best player. And you gonna boo your best player because he's repping his city? People kill me about the fandom. Right. The fandom. Because the people think that everybody should be a fan of your team. If they're fans, if everybody were, let's take these bullshit ass Cowboys, right? If everybody was a Cowboy fan, there'd be no league. Right. Who would support the other teams for them to even play against other teams? Everybody can't be a bullshit Cowboys fan. Go ahead.
Now, I'm down to hear your thoughts about this JJ Reddick.
I mean, this is for my girlies who just, fix the food and, whatever. But what I've heard about him is he called a black woman the N-word.
Yeah.
Back in the...
in college.
In college,
yeah. I just found that out yesterday too. And this young lady, from what I understand, because we talked about it in the cigar lounge last night, right? Before I flew out. This young lady's from Compton. Mm-hmm. So people say, well, why is it coming out now? I'll tell you why it's coming out now. She's from Compton. No. Right? So she more than likely grew up a Laker fan. Mm-hmm. So now the coach of the team that she grew up on, the coach is someone who called you the N-word to your face. The only time you've been called the N-word to your face in life. So, of course, it's relevant now. Well, why is it coming up now? I hate when people say that about women who sex abuse. That was 30 years ago. Why is it coming up now? Because it's still relevant. No matter when it comes up, it happened. Period.
A lot of people are saying, right? But did it happen, though? Because who is this woman? What is that?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a Laker fan, and I love the Lakers. And I can believe that it happened.
You don't think she just want her?
I don't think she bullshit. Nope. Because out of the blue, why would she lie about something like that? Why would she make that up? Yeah. Now, if she was white, and she'd have said that, somebody somebody called her a cracker. Would it be questioning that?
Now she a Karen.
What you think about it?
The way that she brought up the incident, saying how she was at Duke, and now she's saying that, and now he's the head coach. I mean, the timing is questionable.
No, it's not.
You don't think it is?
No, she grew up a Laker fan. Yeah. And now the team that she roots for, that she wants to win a championship, the guy who's leading that team called her a nigga. I don't know, but I'm saying though. But why question?
Right.
What?
If she was a Lakers fan, how do you even know she?
Okay.
She could be a Clippers fan.
No.
Matter of fact, tell everyone what you told me pre-show. Your thoughts, man.
Man, Bronny, right?
No, with JJ Reddick.
No, it was no, it wasn't. It was about like Bronny is a Laker now, and I'm like,
oh, okay, it was Bronny.
Yeah, it's Bronny. I'm like, okay. First of all, people need to quit attacking Bronny. Bronny is a kid. He's still a child, and he could have lost his life last year.
Right.
That's like, wow. Yeah. Right. And of course, the elephant in the room is, we got drafted by the Lakers had not LeBron been his dad. Right? Probably not. Right. But it is what it is. And
also it's
I was just quite, because the Laker organization said this months ago. They said we will consider drafting Bronny because to do anything to keep LeBron. That's why I brought up the whole bottom line thing.
But also, it's the most Lakers thing to do.
What?
Getting Bronny, because of the whole situation. Playing with his father now.
Legacy, I get it. I understand.
First time in history this has ever happened
in basketball.
NBA. Yeah. And of course it had to be LeBron. And of course, me being a father, it has to be every father's favorite. Dream to be able to say, I'm about to play the game that I love with my son.
That no professionally.
That no one else in the world can say.
And
also hold on real quick, but also what I'm amazed by, I told my wife this earlier, is that LeBron back in high school, he was pointed out as the chosen one.
Right.
He had these expectations that everybody else put on him, but he's met all the expectations.
Oh, he didn't. He succeeded.
Right.
The expectations. Hands down.
He's went above.
Hands down.
He went above and beyond.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about this story right now is that he put all that work in, and he's seeing the
fruits of his labor.
Yes, that's like just one of the best feelings to ever have. Sorry, I'm just saying.
I want people to quit beating up Bronny. Yeah. First of all, right? And it's not like he's doing it. Mm-hmm. You know, as a Laker fan and as a fan, it's like, okay, I get it from the heartfelt story, and Hollywood is Hollywood. It's drama. It's the Lakers. It's the drama. It's a story. The Lakers are the town that where Hollywood is made. And I'm just like, but I want championships. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, dude, I've become a Clipper fan now because I'm like, I never, because I'm like, we ain't there yet. We got a new coach, right? We got issues. You got old players and hurt players. I want more from my team. And I'm loving what JJ Reddick said that he wants to prioritize AD being that focal guy. Like we need AD to be consistent every game, not 2 games on the road you scoring 30 points. That's on AD, game, bro. One game that's on AD. 5 points. That's on AD. When he's healthy, he's unstoppable. Let's say Miss Dub says when LeBron was first drafted, she wondered if he can be that good. Then she saw him play, and I thought, yes, he is that good. He's that good. Yeah.
He's just an all-around baller. LeBron could do everything.
Yeah,
everything.
GM, he can coach, shoot, pass, rebound, produce movies.
Stay tuned next season. It's going to be pretty interesting.
It's funny because Durant was my guy, and then I just see nothing no more.
Durant is still a beast, though.
But see,
not like he used to be.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Durant.
He's still a beast. He says injuries have slowed Durant. Now, injuries and lack of Clippers.
Man, save it all, Durant. But my wife, she does love Durant, especially when he was with Golden State. Like that's what got her, But it is very questionable.
He needs some unity grease.
But the whole thing is that
LBC
right. Hey, get her products, y'all. Get her products. Go to her website. Tell the website real quick. Tell the website.
Promote yourself.
Link in my bio, y'all. You right on the page.
There it is. But now the biggest question about Durant now is that he's always getting released or traded or whatever every other season now. That says a whole lot about you.
Right.
That now you're playing on 5 different teams over the last 7 years.
Right.
I feel like he's just coasting. He just
he wants a championship. He's trying to go to the right situation.
He had it, but his ego got in the way.
Because they can Golden State, man, they would have had about 3, 4, 5 more.
Yeah, ego got in the way.
He's very young.
Who, Durant?
Yeah.
No, he ain't.
Them follicles ain't. Them follicles old as a motherfucker.
I like to consider myself young. I think we're about the same age.
Yeah, y'all don't look nowhere near the same age.
How old is Durant?
90.
Oh Lord.
Be able to ball the way he balls at 90.
I want to say he's like, let's say, because LeBron he about to be 40. I think Durant is in between like 30.
Maybe 35 or so.
Yeah.
He still got game. Yeah. Durant still got a lot of game left in him.
Don't tell me 35 ain't young.
He got a lot of game left in him. He got a lot of game left in him.
That's what I'm saying.
But this has been incredible.
I know I was overstayed. I'm supposed to be
Be gone by the hour.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be gone 41 minutes ago.
But this has been an incredible.
I'm missing the debate.
Right. First episode of Smoooth Conversations. Guy, thank you again,
man.
Brother.
Likewise, man.
Countess.
Good seeing you again.
We'll see each other some more.
Amazing. We got to do some more collabs. Stay tuned, y'all, for more and more of what we're doing right here, Smooth Conversations. Shouts out once again to my Smooth Productions fam, DJ Steve Jenks in the background, holding things down. Wait a minute, hold on. There you go. Turn around, Steve. There you go. Now show yourself on the camera. Come on, producer. Show yourself, producer. Hold on. Here you go. There he is. Now say what's up. There he is.
Big Steve in the building.
There you go.
And the Kappas with, the Deltas with canes.
Here you go. But do we have any comments that we want to show before we end? Any questions? Any comments? Okay, just want to make sure we ain't missing no comments. Hope everyone.
Thank
you, Alice. Thank you for being so vocal.
Thank you. Very, very good post text.
And the wifey says that he is 35 years old.
Thank you, wifey. Shout out to Sade. She
35 is young. I'm just saying, his follicles are 65.
He said 90. Boy, you just keep them coming. I love the way your brain works.
But once again, thanks for tuning in, y'all, to the first episode of Smooth Conversations. I am your boy Smooth with 3 O's, y'all. Scan the QR code right there on the screen.
3 what?
Huh?
3 what?
3 O's.
Oh, I just said 3 hoes.
The wifey won't allow that. But no.
But if she did.
No, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't happening.
You gotta be careful. You're gonna get him in trouble. You
Nope.
know she watching.
Trying to start some shit. Turn this into Club Shay Shay. So if your wife left you have 3 hoes on the show, would you have 3 hoes on the show? Come on, tell the truth, man.
But everyone, scan the QR code, connect with Smooth Productions. Also, real quick, give everyone your information, social media, so they can.
You can find me at Natural Average Therapy. Just type it right in and it'll come up. I'm your host, Countess Danielle.
Torry, my new websites are up, and I'm still adding to them, GuyTorry.com, and you can link the rest of them through GuyTorry.com.
There we go. Your phone about to fall out.
Oh, there you go. No
diddy. So enjoy the Funny Bone. Have a great time at the Funny Bone, and of course, throwing out the first pitch at the Countess game. Everyone else, y'all have a great rest of your week, and check out. Well, stay tuned for a future episode of Smooth Conversations. We out there staying, y'all.
And smooth because as his follicles are gone, his head is smooth as fuck. That's what the smooth come in.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday
Get them tickets.
at the Funny Bone, y'all.
We gone, y'all. Peace out.